Hello everyone, I'm S. Gurucharan. I'm 11 years old. So today I'm going to tell you the basics of a list in Python. So a list is basically a collection of data or objects. So now you know what is a basic list in Python. Next we are going to see how to make one. So I'll give a basic example of a list. Let's say we name it fruits. Banana, orange, apple. Now we have a basic list of strings. A string is basically a word or a sentence or anything related to alphabets. So next we can see how to make a list with integers. It's basically the same way, but you can insert anything. So now we know that another important thing, uh, we can add anything to a list. We can add numbers, words, anything, decimals, even fractions. So let's see an example of a list with numbers, basically integers. Numbers equal to 23, 56, 92. So this is basically a list of numbers. Next of decimals. All of them are basically the same, but you should know this, okay? So 23.4, 45.9, 90.23. So all of these are floats, which are basically decimals in Python. So now we know how to create the list. Next we are going to move on to working with lists. And before we go to that, I'll just brief on another type of list called a nested list. So this type of list is basically a list inside a list. An example, fruits and number of them equals. So let's say there are 43 bananas and 50 mangoes and 20 cherries. Okay, so now you can see that there are both numbers and words, also known as strings in Python, in this list. So like this, strings are very like operator. You can add anything you want inside them. So now we are going to look at nested lists. These are basically the same, but these variables are inside separate lists. I'll just give a short example. So, banana, $43. Mango, 50. Cherry, sorry, a capital, I missed the capital there. Let's move on. Cherry, 20. So now, this is basically a nested list. So, you can see banana for and the number of bananas, which is 43, is inside another list which is inside the general list. So like that you can organize your things by adding separate lists inside a list. Okay, let's move on. Now we are going to see how to work with lists. Let's say worker. No, what can we say? Rooms per house. Rooms. So let's say you're collecting amount of rooms for a neighborhood. So the first house has 34 rooms. Sorry, I think that's not that realistic. So let's put 3 rooms. Another house has 6 rooms. Another house has 10 rooms. Another house has 8 rooms. So now we have all the rooms. Now let's see how to get them out, like extract them from them. So print. We are just going to make it right. Print rooms. This is how you access a list. Rooms. This is a list, and you put a bracket which indicates it's a list, and you put the number of index. An index is the place where a data is stored, like 3. 3 is an index, 6 is an index, like that. It goes on and on. So, you should know one thing. Python starts indexing from 0. So, that means 0 means 3. And 1 means 6. 2 means 10. And 3 means 8. So don't get confused, but let's see. 0. So let's run the code. I think it's taking a bit to load. In the meanwhile, let's wait. See, room 03, like as I said. Now, let's change this to this. For I in range 4. Let's put to describe why I equals 0. So, print rooms colon bracket. So you can see that it's a list. It indicates a list. I. So we're not going to use the same variable I over and over again. So let's increase I value. I plus equals 1. So now let's see what's the result. As you can see, it prints all the variables. So it prints 0. Currently I equals 0. It prints room I, which is 3. Currently because I is 0. And next I changes to 1 because at the end of this loop I is being added by 1. So I becomes 1 and index 1 is 6. Then again it prints 6, then adds 1 to I again, which changes the index to 2, and index 2 is 10. So it prints 10. Then afterwards it adds again 1 to I, which becomes 3, and index 3, in index 3 there is 8. So that's why it printed all of them. So this is very useful in many things. Like if you want to see how many which is the largest number of fruits, like something like that. So like that. So this is a basic definition of a list. So that's all for today. Now you know what's a basic list in Python. And before I end this, I'll just tell some small things about the list. You can also just automatically create a list using a string like this. H equals list, in the brackets, the parameters. Hello. So now if we, sorry. So now if we do for dash in range 5, print h, print h I, and I plus equal to 1. Let me just describe what's y here. Y equals I equals 0. So now see what happens. HELLO. So basically the list function or class just separates the string fully, like turns it into a list. Each individual alphabet turns into an index like that. So with the same logic as the last test, we printed H, and after that E, and after that L, and after that L, and after that O. So you can, now we know how to turn a string into a list based on alphabets. Now next, let's look at a empty list. So the way to create an empty list is basically the same, but you don't put any contents inside. H equals, that's all. You have an empty list now. But an empty list is useless. So to add to an empty list, you do this. H dot append whatever you want to append. Let's say name equal to William. H dot append name. So basically it adds William to H. And let's print H. Now see the result. William. But if we print H before it adds the name, you can see the difference. At first it's empty, but when we run this line, it adds William to the list. We can also add integers as before said, and all. 34. Now see the result. 34. And now decimals. The same result, but with decimals. Now you know this. Okay, now you know what's an empty list. But no, you changed your mind. You don't want name, don't want this number in H. So You want the name instead. You accidentally added the name. So you want to remove name. So let's see how to remove now. H dot. It's basically the same. Remove. REMOVE. That's all. Remove. Remove. Name. So now we'll print page. See, at first it was empty. Then we added the name William. Then we removed the name William. And now you can see the difference. Empty, added, removed. Okay, so now you know how to work with indexes, create lists, add and remove, and all. So now I'm ending my basic explanation on a list. So we'll see next time. Thank you.